Imagine waking up to find out that your wife, your kids, your entire life were just a dream. Not a metaphor. A literal alternate reality that collapsed the moment you noticed something wrong with the lamp. Now imagine all that was triggered by one violent, senseless act by a man who thought you were in his way. If you've ever felt powerless, or if you've ever wanted to see karma hit back harder than a punch, you're going to want to hear this story to the end. Hit like, subscribe, and settle in for a Reddit revenge story that blurs the line between reality and justice. I was in my last semester at college. Just another ordinary day, just another walk to class. That's when he came out of nowhere. A 325-pound football player in his truck, angry that I dared walk across the road where he wanted to drive. I'm 120 pounds. Nothing in my build said challenge me. But he didn't care. Rage filled his eyes. He stepped out of the truck and without a word, slammed me so hard I hit the concrete and blacked out instantly. What happened next changed everything. In the blink of an eye, I was no longer on the sidewalk. I was somewhere else entirely. I met her. She was warm, funny, captivating. A woman that made my heart skip and my palms sweat. I pursued her relentlessly, even beat out a few jerks she was dating. After 2 years, she became my wife. Then came our daughter, full of energy, curiosity, and her mother's smile. Life was beautiful. I had a great job. She stayed home, raising our little girl. A few years later, our son was born. My mornings started by peeking into his room, watching him sleep, brushing his hair off his forehead before heading to work. It was a perfect life. Full of love, full of joy. Until the lamp. One day, I noticed something strange about our red lamp with gold trim. It sat oddly in space like its dimensions were wrong. It was 3D but inverted, twisted. I couldn't stop staring. I didn't go to work the next day. Or the next. I stopped eating, drinking, even going to the bathroom. My wife pleaded with me. She brought help. But I couldn't move. I was consumed. Not by fear. But by something deeper, confusion, realization. Then it hit me like a freight train. The lamp wasn't real. None of it was. My wife, my children, 10 years of memories, they didn't exist. The lamp grew larger, engulfing everything. I could hear voices, some screaming, others unintelligible. Red filled my vision. And then pain. Crushing, searing pain. I opened my mouth and the first words out were, I'm missing teeth. I opened my eyes. I was on the sidewalk. My real body broken and surrounded by strangers. Panic. Sirens. Blood in my mouth. A cop roughly pulled me up, tossed me into the back of his car like a sack of meat. No ambulance. Just flashing lights and confusion. My dream life was gone. The hospital scans were normal. My physical wounds healed. But emotionally, I was shattered. I fell into a 3-year depression. I grieved like a man who lost his family because in my mind I had. Every night I cried myself to sleep hoping to see her, even just a glimpse. I never did. But sometimes I see my son. Always 5. Always silent. Just out of the corner of my eye. Was it a hallucination? A brain glitch? A psychological defense mechanism against trauma? Or was it real? I still don't know. But what I do know is that none of it would have happened if that football player hadn't smashed my face into the pavement. Did I get revenge? Not the Hollywood kind. But life did. That same football player? He was expelled after multiple assault complaints. Lost his scholarships. Didn't go pro. Last I heard, he works nights stocking shelves completely off the grid. Me? I rebuilt. I started over. But I'll never forget what he stole from me. And honestly, I hope he never forgets what he did. Because even if the courts never punished him, his life turned out to be the real sentence. We always think revenge means fire and fury. But sometimes the universe has its own way of serving justice. Slowly, silently, and with precision. What he took from me, I carry it every day. But what life took from him, it's still taking. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button. Tell me in the comments. Have you ever experienced a dream so vivid you missed it after waking? And don't forget to subscribe for more hauntingly powerful stories, right here on Silent Vengeance.